I've been a counselor for the last 32 years, and so through the years I've come up with different tools as just really kind of help clients find ways of kind of a memory peg. And this is one of the memory pegs. I was a young adult. My parents bought a little cabin and it looked a lot like this. It was really crooked and the doors didn't open right. There were the floors, you could put a ball and it'd roll down the hill. They went underneath it and put some concrete underneath it, and it leveled this house. And it's made me realize that that's a lot of what we're doing with counseling is if the foundation is broken, if the childhood had hurts, we have to work on that. We have to get that level. And as you do that, it's amazing because it starts lining up everything. And oftentimes clients will come in and they're ready to get a divorce. They're completely believe that this marriage is not savable. Well, that's kind of the smoke that's coming out of the chimney. If we go down and find out, oh, what did you learn about marriage when you were a child, and realize that's really impacting the current relationships, then we work on this, and it's amazing how different the adult life looks once that healing happens. I think it's absolutely wonderful that the people who have many struggles in our community are getting something that no one can pay for in this community. And that is this close collaboration between counseling and the medical services. It's very common, we call it collaborative care, that a medical provider will come over and say, I'm seeing someone, would you come over to the medical side and talk with them? And we're able to go over there and tell them about the counseling services, give them an opportunity to meet a counselor face to face. And typically that will be the counselor that will be working with them. So we're not supposed to have favorites, right? But I do have to admit I have an intern that I'm so proud of. And he just did a magnificent job. I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Robert Asensio. Robert has his own practice in the Tri-Cities, and he'd like to share with you about a client that he saw at Grace Clinic when he was here as an intern.
One of the first patients that I worked with was an adult man who was challenged with addiction and depression, and from that, it also resulted in a strained relationship with his family members. He was in a substance use program with a partnering agency, and working together here, we were able to begin working through a lot of the underlying symptoms that were connected to his substance use addiction and depression. You know, it's widely known that there's a stigma amongst men when it comes to speaking about their relationships, especially other men. And when I met this patient, it seemed like there was a barrier there, but we had a lot of time together to be able to build rapport. He realized within himself that he had greater goals and aspirations to improve his life, to reintegrate into his family. It was a great feeling for him when he started noticing that people around him were noticing a change in him, and that his family members who he previously had strained relationships with were willing and wanting to spend more time with him, and he was able to achieve sobriety, and he went on to have a great relationship with his now wife.
That is something that is very common for us to hear, that it's life-changing for them to, first of all, just receive hope, and then lessons and training on how to get beyond hurts. That's a wonderful thing to give to the individual.